Yeah, bro. Wait, what happened to your game show? How's it going, everybody? And welcome to YERBABUENA to everybody in Europe. Thank you very much for hosting and coming in and watching the show. We have so much to talk about. I have some new products to promote it and fucking let you know. This is concentrate, bro. They literally rip it off the weed and it becomes like a cakey surface. And if you mix this shit with your like shitty weed, it becomes like fucking top shelf. So just a quick tip, you chop it up and you can fucking mix it with your cheap weed or maybe with some tobacco like you Europeans people want to do it. Those splits, those fucking have tobacco, have weed. But today I have a very special guest. I've known this guy for many, many years. When I went to Texas and I met Sam and I met all these guys. And he really impressed me since day one. And now I see you ripping it, bro. Congratulations. Sam tells me a lot of great things about you. That basically you're taking Texas over. Israel Garcia, thank you very much, bro, for joining me. How are you, brother? How are you?
What up, Richard? Where were we at? What is it called? The Dope Weed Chat.
No.
Damn.
It's called YERBABUENA.
What's it called?
YERBABUENA.
YERBABUENA. Ooh, damn. Can't go wrong with some YERBABUENA, guys.
That was good, bro. How are you, man? How's Texas doing it with COVID right now?
It's crazy right now, man. I know there's a lot of lockdown going on. There was like a little spike or whatever. So, yeah, we're pretty much all in the same boat right now. Everybody's just trying to figure out what we're going to do and how we're doing it. I know I was in El Paso. I did a few shows and some of our shows got canceled and stuff, but we were able to do a couple of shows and we had a good crowd. You know, obviously we did the social distancing and all that shit, but it was pretty good, man. Everybody's, you know, we're here, we're holding on and staying safe.
Let me ask you a question, bro. I know we've smoked weed before, me and you. Have we, or was it? Yeah, we have, right?
Yeah, we have definitely. Yeah, we've definitely.
Yeah, when we were at Sam. So I've smoked with you before. It's just I didn't become an avid smoker till recently, but yeah, we smoked before. We even talked. I remember the day we smoked. We talked about fucking what's his name, Johnny Cash. How Johnny Cash was gay, and I was translating the whole song to you, and you're like, "You're breaking my heart, bro. Tell me Johnny Cash was gay." It went into a whole conversation. Yeah, bro. You're like, "No, Richard, don't say that, man. You're breaking my heart."
Yeah, you know what's weird? It's like every time because I'm from Texas, man. I'm a Texas boy, born and raised. So when I started going out to California, and this must have been over 5 years? No, 6, 7 years maybe. Mm-hmm. And I remember the first time I ever smoked like Cali bud in California, dude. California is not fucking around with their pot, dude.
They do not.
I remember you guys gave me. I remember handed me. I did a show out there in I think it was in Pico Rivera in California, and some of the comedians handed me this little the dab one, not the dab, but the ones that have the wax.
The wax, yeah, the wax bits or those bits.
Yeah, the wax thing, right? And I didn't know. Like I had never seen. I didn't even know what the fuck that was. But they're like, it's weed, hit it, right? So I got it and I turned it on, and I hit it, and I hit it real gently, I was like, ooh, and I kind of handed it back to him. You know, I was like, ooh, thank you. You know, I appreciate it. That was nice. And then they were looking at me. These motherfuckers were looking at me, and they're like, oh, what? Like, you guys are all pussies in Texas or what? Like, that's how you guys hit it? And dude, when they said that, I was like, fuck that. Like, give me that fucking vape. So I got the vape, dude, and I lit it the fuck up, dude. I just hit it like I got my lungs off. I instantly regretted it. As soon as I took that hit, like I was dying. I was like, I'm fucking dying. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move, dude. I was coughing. Oh my god, so close to death. I swear, I was like, "What the fuck?" And they were laughing at. They were like, "Oh, damn, this motherfucker, get it? He got all crazy with it," and all the like, "Ow, ow." Like dude, ask Sam. I was so fucking stoned, bro. I couldn't.
I love it when
I
people
could
are that
not
stuff.
walk.
Yeah.
I felt like a fucking astronaut, bro, like, against gravity, dog.
I was
Like
sponsored
everything was.
by Magic Pipe, and I had a barber smoking. And he says, "Oh no, here in Guadalajara we can hit this." And I never seen a guy just drop so hard from the pin. And it's true, it does happen. You hit it so hard, you're gonna fucking knock yourself out. But that's a lot of fucking THC you're taking in. That's fucking bananas, bro.
No, bro, that.
Let me ask you a question, bro. I've known you for a lot of years, but I've never known, why did you start comedy, bro? How did you start comedy? Like, where did you start? How did you get into it? How did you get into comedy? I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. All right.
It's just it's cutting in.
Oh, okay.
I started stand up. I started stand up when I was about. I was 19. I was about to turn 20. And I was gonna get arrested because I broke probation. So at that time, my probation officer was looking for me, man, because he was gonna put me in jail. And I always wanted to do stand-up. I already knew it. I had material that I had written. I just had never attempted to do it.
Back it up. There's a reason why they're looking for you. No, back it up. There's a reason why they're looking for you. What did you do for cops and your parole? What? Well, what? You were bringing up.
Hey, they're still looking for me.
No. What did you do?
They're still. No, it was for I got arrested for drunk driving, and I crashed into this building. I crashed into a fucking pet feed of all places.
Pet feed.
Yeah, dude, so I was I was a mess. But so the probation officer was looking for me, and I felt like, okay, this guy's gonna put me in jail. I better try to do this thing before I go in, you know. So I had these flyers made, and I did them with my friend Rafael Molina, and I made this flyer. Yeah, it was like my little show. I called it Israel Garcia Presents Balls Out. It was called Balls Out. No, that's not even the flyer, bro. Rafael Molina, you know him, Richard.
Yeah.
He's also a big ass.
Yeah.
So he was in charge of the flyer, right? So he made this flyer and he drew a scrotum, a hairy scrotum. He drew a scrotum, right, with like hands and feet, and then he had like a little face on the scrotum, and he was like a little rocker, and he's just like with a tongue out, like that, you know?
Balls out.
So I passed all these flyers out at work with a scrotum on it. It was so fucking funny, dude. And I did the show at my brother's garage, and I invited all my friends from the neighborhood, and they came out, and I did like about 10 minutes of just crap that I had, you know, at that time. And they liked it, and they're like, hey, do it again next week, and we'll bring more friends. So they did that. Next week, I did it again. This time we had to open up the garage, and there was people all the way to the sidewalk that had heard that I was going to do comedy. So they all came out. And then that night, some guy came up to me. He's like, hey, there's an open mic on Wednesday at the comedy club. Go do that. So I was like, all right. So I went out. I got arrested. I went to jail for a couple of weeks. And then I got out. And then I started going to the open mics. And then from there, it was just always I could never stop. Like, it was just always something that I always had to be doing all the time. So I was going out to open mics. I was too young. I was too young to even be at open mics because the bars were 21 and older. So I'd be out there like, come on, like, let me do some comedy. You know what I mean? So it just kind of went from there, man. And then I met you. You know, I met you early in my career too. And you've always been good, and you've always taken care of me and stuff. So, you know, just kind of went up from there, man.
Yeah, because now you're touring with Chingo Bling, with Raymond Horta, and on your own. I see you headlining now. And I'm like, look at this beast
Yeah.
on the fucking road. Congratulations. It feels good, bro, to see these motherfuckers grow. You know?
Yeah,
And I
it's
want
not
them
easy, you
back.
know, but I mean,
But look what
if
you
you do
did.
it long enough, you know. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No. I wanted to make a point to people that are listening to this is I asked you how'd you get started. You didn't say, well, this person helped me or this person. I'm pretty sure somebody told you you're very funny, you should do this, but you didn't wait to get booked at a comedy club or go to an open mic to start doing comedy. You said, I have a fucking garage and I'm going to tell people I'm going to do stand-up. And that's the mentality I'm taking. Again, after 20 years, I'm taking your same mentality. And now I told my wife, listen, there's no clubs I can perform. There's no money to be made right now out there. But I can write and I can create comedy and content. So I have access to my brother who's a producer. I have access to a home where I can do this. Fuck it, I'm going to invite 50 people and shoot an hour special every single month. There's nothing else I'm doing but scratching my ass. Fuck it. Let's do the Israel Garcia fucking method. Let's balls to the wall fucking walk out and do a scrotum fucking poster and make a show.
How's that? How's out is the bottle, bro. How's out, dog?
I'm gonna make a fucking.
And I mean, yeah, for real time. Yeah, man. I've been so now I'm trying to come up with like another 20 minutes, and like I like smoking weed, but I'm like a chill. Like I can't. I'll get super stoned. I'm like I don't know if anybody could see this body of a 12-year-old lesbian, but I'm like 120 pounds, guys. Like I get high so fucking fast. You know what I mean? I get stoned super fast. So I'm a light smoker, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm in the process of coming up with a new 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. So now I'm trying to smoke a little bit of weed, and then it helps me be creative, you know? But there's just so much crazy shit. You know what I started to do now? What I've been liking? I like edibles. I've been really getting into edibles. Edibles have been kind of my thing now that I'm like, I like it better than smoking or
why edible? Why? What are the benefits of an edible for you that you say, fuck it, this is
why? Because when I'm smoking weed, like from a cigarette or something, I feel like, oh, it's about to go down. You know what I mean? So I get a little in my head, like, oh, I'm gonna get fucking stoned. I don't want to know that I'm high. I want to be stoned. Yeah, I want to be stoned, but I don't want to know that I'm stoned. I don't know if that makes any fucking sense, but edibles will do that. I could take some gummies and I'll kind of forget about it, and then I'm fucking high, and before I know it, I was like, oh my God, I was so fucking high. You know what I mean?
So it's you're scared of the anticipation of like, fuck, I'm gonna get high. Yeah. So you're like, fuck, if I eat gummies, all of a sudden I'm just having a good time, going like, what the fuck? Oh, that's right, I'm high. I get it.
Yes, exactly, man. Yeah, but I like, but now there's just so many ways to take it in, dude. Like, you know what I mean? There's edibles, there's pipes, there's all this crazy, man. It's fucking.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't.
What was your inspirations when doing comedy? Like, what were like what? I mean, your inspiration. What things that you see that you were like? Is this something you always wanted to do? Is this because I know how you got started, but somebody has to give you that itch. See, I knew at 16 I wanted to do stand-up. I knew that, but it didn't develop till I was offered an opportunity. Hey, you want to come? You think you're funny? Come do this open mic. For you, you had that inclination. You had that urge. So when did you feel it? That urge to want to be funny, to perform? Was there an incident in your life that you remember specifically? This is what changed my life, or this is where I got eating.
I think by fourth grade, I already knew that I was gonna be fun, like that I wanted to make people laugh. I didn't know about stand-up, but I knew that I wanted to make people laugh. I already knew. I'm like, I need to do this like all the time. So I just didn't know how it was. And then so I would watch movies, and I got to see a lot of comedians in movies. Was like kind of my first exposure to comedy, you know. And I saw people like Jim Carrey and Robin Williams and people that were real physical. You know, I was always attracted to slapstick comedy and shit like that. You know, I grew up on like I Love Lucy and all that type of stuff. So by the time I was in fourth grade, I already knew that I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna make people laugh. I didn't know how I was gonna do it or how do you like, what do you do? I just knew I like making people laugh. So when I was in middle school, maybe like sixth, seventh grade, I saw like I got to see stand up through Comedy Central. So that's what these comedians I saw, like people like I related to a lot, like Freddie Soto, and you know a lot of the first season of I don't know if there's any comedy like comedy fans, but the first season of Comedy Central Presents, you know, Jim Gaffigan, all these comedians, and I was like, oh my God, there's this thing called stand up, and you just stand there and you're funny, like. So right then I was like, I need to. This is what I'm gonna do. Like I knew it right away, and I just was like, if I'm gonna be a stand-up comedian, then I need to learn the art first before I even attempt it. So I engulfed myself pretty much in anything stand-up comedy. Like I was
When
all
did this
day. That's all I
happen?
would
When
do.
did this happen? What was all of this happening? What age?
Uh, when I was like about 13.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
about
you knew at
13, 14 years old.
13, 14, you knew this is what I want to do, so I'm going to focus on stand-up. Okay.
Yes.
From there, it was
yes,
just
100%.
that's it, and then the garage came in. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, tell me.
Yeah, so I told myself that in order for me to be good at this, then I need to study and I need to watch how they do it. Before I even do it myself, I needed to learn it. So I would just watch it nonstop. I would come home, I would watch stand up. Before anything, I would watch stand. I'd go to sleep to stand up. I started learning names. I would just study how they move, how they walk, and for like about 5 years, that's pretty much all I did. Like how some people have like sports stars as their, you know what I mean, as the people they look up to. My sports stars were stand up comics. Like those were my athletes. You know what I mean? So I just kept doing it until finally, like I say, I got to the level where I'm like, okay, I think I learned so much and I already know everybody and I know the thing. So when I did it the first time, I didn't do that bad because I kind of saw how they move. I could bullshit my way as a comic, you know. I could maybe act like a comic, you know. I kind of knew like, oh look, this guy. I could apply that, and I'll look like a professional, you know. And then through bullshitting, I just started getting better at the stand up part of it. You know what I mean? So it was just kind of this.
How many years is it for you now? How many years for you?
I think like 13.
13 years. Okay, so
yes,
you knew
13.
Freddie Soto. You were doing stand up when Freddie Soto was doing stand up.
Yes, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Except he was in
I
LA.
was about to. I wonder when he passed away. Anybody that doesn't know who Freddie Soto is out there, check him out. He was a stand-up comedian who passed away, but he was kind of in the come up. But he grew up pretty much like 5 minutes away from where I live. So it's interesting to look at somebody. I'm like, oh well, he's doing. You know what I mean? It was a big inspiration for me to see like, hey, well, he's doing it. You know, so
I bring him up because I met Freddie Soto. I saw him perform. We performed in the same shows. We didn't work together a lot. We didn't get to be great buddies like I wish we could have because he was working, and at the time I was just coming up. But I remember his act. I remember the way he would perform, and it reminds me so much of yours. But yours is completely different. I mean, you have your style, but the way you guys communicate funny is a really El Paso. If I only have Freddie Soto to look at it, you have that Freddie Soto in. You know what I mean? Not that you're Freddie Soto. I'm not trying to compare you, but you have that. When you get on stage, people automatically want to laugh at you. Freddie had that.
Yeah,
Freddie, a
that helps.
likability, a likability that people look at you and go, wow, there is nothing threatening about you. There was nothing threatening about Freddie, and you knew you were gonna have a good time, and he didn't have to tell you anything.
Yeah.
You were already laughing. So you have that. You have what Freddie had. So maybe it's something about being from El Paso or being in that side of Texas that gets you that.
Well, you know
Is it
what,
swag or something?
El Paso, Texas is known to be one of like the most friendliest cities in the world. I mean, not in the world, but in the United States. I'm sorry. And it's one of the most safest. And I think by coming from a city that's really friendly and safe, it makes you friendly with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was just always. It's weird because I've always had like I look non-threatening, which is it's a compliment and not a compliment at the same time.
Yeah. For people that cannot see the whole package, he's right. He's not threatening at all.
Yeah, I don't intimidate people at all, men or women. Okay, women are not intimidated by me. Like I could beat that guy up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it helped because then people would gravitate towards me, and they would just talk to me, and I was able to just when I go up on stage, people are just like, they just like me. I don't like likable, I guess, and it helps. It helps a lot because a lot of stand up is just being likable.
Yes, because then people want to hear you.
Look at you. You go up there and you don't seem likable, you're gonna struggle. You're gonna have to be way funnier, and you're gonna have to work for them to just to give you a chance, but when you look like I said, like a 12-year-old lesbian boy, hey, they give you a chance.
Hey, buenas noches, ¿cómo está, señor? How are you? Friend, nos está mandando saludos, carnal. Oye, I have a question for you, Israel. Have you ever thought of doing this in Spanish? Like you speak Spanish. Have you ever thought of doing your stand-up in Spanish?
Yes, pues apenas empecé. Estoy bocho, pero ahí la llevo.
La llevo. Everybody speaks English on this one, bro. But so you thought, hey, I can do this in Spanish? Because I see the trend. A lot of these big names are not going into doing it in Spanish because they have the ability to speak the language. You have the ability to speak the language. So is that something you would do in the future?
Yeah, I did my very first stand-up set at the Arlington Improv maybe like about a month and a half ago, and I was nervous. Like doing Spanish it's a whole nother beast, man. Like they're their own thing, you know what I mean? Timing is different, a lot of that stuff, but I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So I went and I drove all the way to Dallas for free pretty much, and I went up and I did about 10 minutes and I fucking killed it, bro.
Yeah.
I fucking murdered it.
Who ran the show in Spanish in Dallas?
It was these guys that I know. They're really good friends of mine named the Vatos Chistosos. Los Vatos Chistosos out of Dallas. Really good friends of mine. They put on some great shows, man. They pack out their rooms. We'll bring you down here, Richard. Hopefully we can have you down here in Texas soon, and you can get up on those shows. But
oh, look who's stuck up. What amigo Sam. What is up, fellas? Hey, Sam, what's up, brother? I'm chit-chatting here with Israel.
Yeah, that's my boy. Hey, Sam Butler. Huge shout out to Sam Butler, man. Sam Butler had a lot to do with me even getting to where I've gotten. Sam Butler was a guy who always believed in me from the beginning and nurtured my talent a lot, And so I'm glad he's chiming in, and just a big shout out to him. He's doing great shit. Check him out on YouTube, Tu Amigo Sam. Or he has a podcast that I just did in Juarez. We just did a podcast in Juarez, Mexico, and we did it in Spanish. It was super funny. Make sure you check him out. He has a nice little following out there on his podcast. So shout out to Sam.
English and Spanish, and it's great. I've listened to all the episodes already. Not because he's my friend, but he tells you great stories on his podcast. Things that you wouldn't know, and it only takes about 15 minutes. So it's as long as you can take a shit. Yeah. So Guys, I highly recommend it. Sam, also one of my brothers in comedy, man. He's like family. So thank you for chiming in.
What
Huh?
what about you? You started doing Spanish, or you were doing both always?
No, I've always did Spanish comedy in one way or another. I started back in 2008, 2007. Yes, I started 2007. I started doing Spanish comedy because a group called Guarachini Guarachon needed an opening act. They said, "Can you do it?" And me being in comedy for 2 years or 3 years, something like that. No, it was more. So 4 years. I said, I'll take it. I just wanted to do anything and I could speak in Spanish, but I was horrible. So then they showed me how to say a couple of jokes. And then I had a group of people that I would do sketches with. That we called ourselves the Cuchicus. And we would do sketches in between their wardrobe changes. And we spent like 6 months doing this shit. And we didn't get paid a dime. But every Friday and Saturday we were there performing. So that's what opened up my curiosity to doing Spanish stand-up. And then I think in 2013 is when I started really focusing on just doing Spanish stand-up, which led up to the show, which led up to a bunch of other doors opening up for me. And now I realized, I'll be honest with you, I realized you really don't need a lot, man. You need a pen and paper and you need a camera to capture it. That's it. And people will fucking run with it. If you have talent, nobody else is going to tell you but the people. And now they have the power to share. So if your shit is good, it's going to get shared. If your shit is not, it's not going to get shared. I don't care what the algorithms or whatever the fucking Facebook wants to do or slow down your fucking video or whatever. No. It's up to your writing, bro. If your joke is funny, your joke is funny. That is it. The Ocean Spray guy got a Nissan. He made a fucking video.
I mean, that's what me and John have been doing, you know, producing videos and content, and it's helped. John, I know John Polibear Gonzalez is blowing up on TikTok right now, and he's proof of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can't deny the internet has changed the fucking game, period. Now you're either gonna adapt or bitch or complain, or are you just gonna fucking figure it out yourself and do what works and start getting people to start chiming into your shit?
Another reason I want to do what I want to start doing is releasing that hour. You're right. Is at the end of the day, the audience are all, honestly, for the most part, a lot of people are just hypocrites. You know what I mean? R. Kelly is a perfect example. Michael Jackson's a perfect example. Bill Cosby and Weinstein. All these people are perfect examples. As long as you give me the hits, as long as you entertain me, I don't give a fuck what you do. And for years, they got away with it. And then the woke people came in and started saying, oh, we woke. But it never stops, bro. Everybody hates you to your next hit. Once you have a hit, now everybody loves you again. You're never going to police the world. So at the end of the day, do you love to write and make people laugh? Yes. So I'll do it at my own pace, with my own rules, because now I just have to share it.
Yeah.
That's it. And
exactly.
Yeah.
That's one thing that that was one thing that I got out of it with when the coronavirus hit or whatever. I lost like over 60 gigs, man. Like, I was gonna go on this huge national tour, and I lost all these gigs, you know, and I was like super bummed out, you know. But in a way, I was like, oh, it's over. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this again, you know. But it showed who really wants it and who really doesn't. Because when I lost all those gigs, I was like, what do I do now? Like, what do I do? I was just focused on stand-up I mean, I would do videos here and there, but I was mostly just stand-up. So when everything went away, when all the clubs shut down and everything, I moped for like a week and a half. I was just like, what the fuck, you know? I lost all my money on my merchandise because I couldn't sell it, all this shit.
True.
And then for like about a week and a half, I said, fuck it. Then after about a week and a half, I just woke up one day and I was like, okay, so what the fuck are you going to do? So then I was like, okay, so I created the show where I would spin a wheel and I would do challenges. And then, you know what I mean? I started adapting. Yeah, so I just started adapting, and then I started creating videos. I got with John, we started making videos, and then you know what I mean. So it, in a way, it made me stronger. That being taken away from me made me get stronger with other muscles of comedy that I wasn't working on, you know. But now I have the stand up. Now I'm pushing my, I know my TikToks. I think I have like over 10,000 followers now in like 2 months, and it's growing still. So all that just made me stronger. I came out strong. I feel stronger than I was now than I am before the coronavirus hit, which is not a lot of people and comics can say that, you know, honestly.
Well, this the thing is this puts everybody at pause basically for a few months. Everybody was just frozen, and either you took advantage of it or not. For me, it was just a really growing experience to really appreciate what's important and realize, look, man, you don't control shit. As much as you want to control your life, go. So live happy for the rest of it. Like, enjoy your life. Really take a breather. For many years, I've been running, and for that now, even with my career, I'm like, dude, I'm going to do it at my own pace because I situated myself in that situation. I put myself in that situation where this is where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And I'm good, man. Now that's what Corona taught me, is to slow down, have patience, smell the flowers, enjoy it, and know that you don't control shit. I'll tell you what's going to happen in the future, not you. So you can predict and you can prepare. That's all you can do. You know, and so I'm glad that's what I'm taking from this. Now, what do you see in the future? Fuck Corona. We're still gonna fucking have to live. So what do you see for yourself? What do you want in your next 10 and your next 5?
I think I was thinking about it because I got to feature at the comic strip for the first time. It was a big deal for me. But I feel like, all right, well, I did all this. I prepared. I mean, I'm 13 years in. I'm really happy with the material that I have now. I think that I'm like, as far as my career, I feel like, because stand-up's always my number one, always. I like the content and all that, but I'm always stand-up. So I feel that now, which is why I don't do a lot of Zoom shows, but now I feel that I think I'm ready for like a showcase of like television. I'm ready for a credit, pretty much.
You want to be on TV?
You know, I'm real. I think that yes, I think I'm ready for like some type of showcase on a I don't even want to say the names, but you know, just network televisions and things like that. That I feel happy with the content, not just to get it, but I think that I'm prepared for it, and I know I could kill it. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that's coming. So I'm just preparing for it. But I see myself hopefully, because if I can get some type of credit, then that's gonna allow me to now book on get more opportunities to book at clubs and stuff like that. Because I go to clubs and they'll fuck with me because cool people fuck with me. You know, I'm getting into all these clubs because the top comics are fucking with me. But now it's time for me to kind of do it by myself, you know. And with a credit, I think I'd be able to be, you know, more inclined to start getting booked more on my own like that. So I feel that I'm prepared for it, and that's something that I see myself maybe like in the next, you know, 3 to 4 years, hopefully being on something that's gonna help push my career further in stand up, you know, and also creating. I like creating content too, writing. I like writing for comedians and stuff like that, and I want to grow as the back too. You know what I mean? That's another thing that I like. I like working with people and creating videos and all that type of stuff. But yeah, so that's pretty much how I mean, I'm just taking it how it comes, you know.
And that's it, bro. I mean, you can have aspirations for things, but really, I want you to understand that I believe that in the next 3 years, you will be somewhat known in the industry, where people are gonna hear your name and go, "Yeah, that guy's hilarious," and you have that right attitude where you understand, "Hey, man, I'll take whatever's coming. Don't take this too serious, okay? And don't take yourself too serious." I think that's one of the mistakes that a lot of people do is they get to the point where they really start taking it too serious and forget why they were doing stand-up. And it's happened to me. That's why I'm letting you know. And like I said, this COVID reminded me to slow down and go, just smell the roses, man. You've done so much. And now that I look back, I wish I would have slowed down in some of those moments in my life. And with that, I want to ask you, was there ever a moment that you were like, fuck, I'm done. I'm out. Fuck comedy. Not worth it.
And
Like, really, is there something in your life you said, fuck it, I'm out. This is not worth it.
Yeah.
What was that, bro? What was that moment for you? You're like, fuck, because right now I see your bright future, bro. Like, I see your finish line, and I don't even know you that well. But I can predict your finish line like I predict a lot of people's finish lines. And I see you finishing. But what? Because and now I want to know, damn, bro, if you would have stopped. Because I already see your finish line, so that's why I'm happy for you. But I want to know, what was the moment you decided to stop?
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, Richard. It's always good to see you, and I'm going to be seeing you too, man. I'm heading out there tomorrow.
No, but you're not telling me the moment that you decided to stop. Where was it? Because you decided a moment in your life to stop, right?
Hell yeah, man.
What was that moment, bro? What was that moment you said, I'm done?
You know what? What was that?
What was that moment in your life that you decided, I'm done? In comedy.
The line's cutting off, man. My bad.
Oh, my bad. Bullshit. You don't want to answer the question. You don't want to answer the question, huh? All right.
Yo, Richard.
Hey, can you hear me?
My line's cutting off, bro.
It's
I got you now.
You got me now? You can hear me? Can you hear me?
I could hear you. I think you're cutting in and out. It's because you know what? Okay. Estoy en Socorro, bro. I'm in the slum.
Hold on. Socorro sucks, by the way.
We have no.
Okay, can you hear me better now? Can you hear me better?
We have burros and chickens and cows, but we have no internet, dog.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I'm in the ranchos of Texas, bro. Yeah, I could hear you. I could hear you.
Okay, bro. So what was that moment in your life that you decided I don't want to do stand-up anymore? Okay, he's out. You're in the studio. Okay, I'm still live. Very good. All right, I don't know if he cut me out because he knew that the question was too hard, but that was going to be a really good question. Jennifer Morales, ¿cómo estás? ¿Qué pasó, Jennifer? Well, you know what I mean? That's one way of getting out of answering the question. Socorro is a tough town, I also understand. Enjoying life, best advice ever. Yes, that's the best you get, guys. It is true, man. I'm gonna keep talking on what's going on with me before we get into Israel. But so you can expect this. So start tuning into my podcast. Start tuning in to my social media, which is @RichardComedy. I decided that I've created these avenues of income for myself, where I can live my life at my speed now. So I want to create. I want to write it. I'm going to start releasing an hour every single month. What's going on in life, my point of view on society. So my idea is to develop 15 minutes of material, work it out, and then present it once a month. So if you want to see what's going on in my life, you want to know about my daughter, my wife, society here, what's going on in California, what's going on with my friends, and also my point of views on certain social issues, the presidency. And I'm not an expert in anything. I'm just giving you my point of view. But go to @RichardComedy. Follow me on social media platforms, and you can get my content. Also, Richard Villa on YouTube. What else? In terms of weed, guys, I know some of you guys are like, man, I don't give a fuck about that shit. In there, I'll talk about weed and the effects of weed and smoking and being a dad and being a very responsible dad. Things that's happened to me that I know now not to do. My wife started getting mad because I fucked up my little girl's homework. And she would say, dude, I checked her homework. She did it wrong. You didn't check it. I was like, I did. No, you didn't. See, my ritual is I have a cup of coffee and my joint. And so I'm in there in the class with her, and I don't know some of this stuff, man. So I'm just like guessing stuff, and so I can't really think, man. I'm just trying to wake up, and sometimes I get it wrong. I mean, kinder is hard, man. Kindergarten is very difficult. You know, it's for 6-year-old maybe easy, but I'm 42. I forgot all this shit I learned in kinder. That's a long time ago. So other than that, that's how fucking harsh I take my life now, man. It's too difficult to take it too harsh, too difficult to be too serious. You might as well enjoy it. Why suffer? Why be in pain? Why not get some of this in your system? And what happens is this little powder, this concentrate, you get it. And if you're growing, for example, there's different ways of growing bud or weed. Is you can grow it out in the sun, which that's not as potent. It's basically really managing it. They're very difficult to maintain. So there's a huge process to growing good, nice, solid, crystallized buds. If you don't have access to all that equipment, you can just sun grow it. And sun growing weed is the most natural way to do it. But you're not going to get the huge big results you get if you did it inside an enclosed area. So when you sun grow it, sometimes the potency is not there. You can add some of this extract to it and mix it up, and you can make really good product joints. Other than that, guys, thank you very much for joining me. Expect more content from me. I'm going to go get Israel and ask him why he didn't fucking answer the question. So thank you very much. That is YERBABUENA. Thank you, Cali Care Group, for always supplying me with all these wonderful products. You also brought me this nice little fucking blunt of top secret shelves. Guys, thank you. Always putting milk in bags. They also give us great edibles as little extra. So thank you, Jose. Thank you, Gil. Thank you to everybody, guys. Goodbye.